Hey guys, how's it going? Rubik's Master here, and today we're going to be talking about the new updates that are already implemented and are coming into War Commander. Pardon me while I cough a lung out. Still pretty sick, but anyway, before I jump into that, I do want to mention that if you haven't been attacking outposts on the world map, you need to. Just kind of on a whim, I went and looked at outposts. I've been attacking strongholds a bit more recently because it's pretty nice being able to get the exact crit cards you want. Even if you don't want light vehicle crit cards, you just attack a stronghold using all heavy vehicles and you get your heavy vehicle crit cards. Pretty cool, but I hadn't attacked outposts because basically since the beginning of the game, outposts have been next to worthless, made even more worthless in the past 6 months by the updates. But if you haven't been attacking outposts, you need to. They're relatively easy. The ones that I attack for my level group, I use, if it will load, this platoon right here. I just drop them with the AI on. It costs me about 1,000 oil, which is a little bit high, but it allows me to farm outposts without really having to do a huge time commitment to the game. And those outposts, I attacked 5 or 6 of them, and I got more silver chests than I did bronze. I didn't get any gold, but I think I got like 4 silver chests and 2 bronze. And the silver chests give you 36 not crit cards, common cards. And it's been several hours, so maybe it was 34. Either way, it gives you in the mid 30s common cards, and you know exactly what kind you're going to get. You attack a heavy vehicle outpost, you're getting heavy vehicle common cards. The bronze one gives you like 13 cards, I think, which isn't anything to sneeze at. But getting silver crates regularly, that's a very easy way to farm up um, and pay for some of these high cost upgrades, especially the ones I'm getting to now. So, yeah, definitely don't want to miss out on that. Please go do that. So, let's get to the subject at hand, which is the handful of announcements that have come out. I think 5 over the past 2 days. I haven't actually looked at Open Prey Alliance Objective. I haven't looked at that yet, so we're going to look at that together. But real quick, let's just touch on HIMARS are coming. They're basically, it's tied into everything else. The Command Center level 10 upgrade is here. It raises the maximum player level to 75. It's basically adding a whole new tier to the top end of the game. And the HIMAR is stepping in basically to not replace, but to add on to the long-range artillery units, starting with the M270, then the GMLRS, and now there's going to be the HIMAR. There's a few unique weapon combinations you can do with it. It has you can choose between 2 secondary weapons, but other than that, it's basically a GMLRS buffed for higher levels. That's really what it boils down to. Nothing crazy about it, except that it is the most expensive unit to ever be released in the game at 800,000 points. It's going to take even high levels quite a bit of grinding to be able to get this unit. You're going to have to really, really want it. But real quick, let's look at the release notes. I'm not going to touch on the HIMAR too much because really it's just a continuation. Nothing too entirely special. So, CC10 building upgrades have been added. So you can upgrade, your turrets, not your turrets, but your defense platforms. There's a new heavy turret level and a railgun level. Additional added directional attack arrows to the war zone. So if in the war zone, if you see a base under attack, if you just click on that base, an arrow will go from the commander that is attacking that base to that base. So you can find who's attacking who by clicking on that base. It makes retaliatory attacks way easier. So the event begins tomorrow. Gonna be super cool. Here's the big things. Transformers have been changed from a fire rate speed boost to a damage boost to turrets in their area of effect. This will not take effect until after Open Prey. So you have about another week, and Transformers are going to change forever. Now, this, I think, carries with it both good and bad. The speed boost before essentially did what this is doing now, just by increasing its damage per second. If a turret fires faster, it deals more damage. Like, that's just the long and short of it. However, this update doesn't really affect machine gun turrets. Doesn't really affect salvo turrets too much. What it really affects, it affects the Peacemaker mortar and the howitzer a bit, but the turret it affects the most is the railgun. This update is going to make the railgun basically worthless. A lot of people don't use the railgun already, but the only reason to use a railgun is if it was pretty much solo boosted, so it could get out as many shots as possible to break through the attacker's first line of defense. That's not going to happen anymore. Not at all. The salvo turret, not the salvo turret, the railgun took a big hit in popularity with the changes to the M270s, because now M270s outrange railguns. But now, it doesn't matter what you do to your railgun, the enemy units are just going to rush in and be able to take it out before it even gets a shot off. So even though it's damage boosted, it's never going to get a shot off. It's worthless. It's a huge oversight, which who knows, maybe they have a patch incoming that's going to address that. All they really need to do is decrease or increase the rate of fire for the railgun, and it would make the railgun a little bit more useful. T14's top speed is increased to make sure it can stay in front of the HIMARS. That's pretty cool. They're integrating the HIMARS with existing units to make sure things get fixed. And that's that. Uh-oh. Let's get back in here. So let's look through this real quick, because there's just a couple images. This is basically just showing you what the different things look like as level 10 or level 9 for like the War Factory and whatnot. So really, I just want to show y'all something. This is just for my entertainment, really. I think they look super cool, and that is the level 10 defense platform. If we can get to it down here. The level 10 barrier looks pretty cool too. But man, this level 10 platform looks so awesome. It's so unique. There's nothing else in the game like it. When you look at a base that has these defense platforms, I can't wait to see it. It's going to look so freaking cool. And connected with that, so yeah, you have level 3 heavy turret. And then down here, the railgun. Right as they make the railgun worthless, they are introducing a new level of it, and the level looks awesome. This railgun looks so cool. But again, basically going to be worthless, at least for a while, until they patch it. Excuse me. Alright, Open Prey Alliance Objective. Let's check this one out together. Real quick though, I do want to mention, I'm hoping for something really cool from this event. We've had basically the same bases on the last 3 events, so hopefully we'll get something new this time around. I really want to get back to making good instructional videos, but there's no point in making instructional videos if we fought the same base the last 3 months, you know? So, Alliance Objective. This is going to be pretty cool. During Open Prey, if 20 plus members of your alliance claim the HIMARS blueprint, oh well, yeah, screw that. Everyone in your alliance will receive its secondary weapon, the Mark 47 grenade launcher, for free. This objective and prize only applies to players who were in your alliance for the entire duration of Open Prey. So, in case y'all haven't looked, you can look at the HIMAR in-game. It is in the heavy vehicle section all the way at the end, so you can go ahead and look at its stats and available equipment. Something cool about the HIMAR is it does have its unique equipment here, which is the Mark 47 grenade launcher, which I don't know exactly what it does. It's obviously not going to be anti-air. Maybe it's more of a close-range weapon to help deal with, infantry and ground forces. But you can put the minigun that goes on the T-14 Armada, you can put that on this vehicle as well to help counter air. So you can either make it a beast at wiping out bases, or you can give it a good balance of anti-air and base busting ability. So that's really it. I do want to comment. I'm a lowly level 52, almost level 53. But I do want to comment, this seems like a massive shift in power in the game as you go towards the higher levels. At lower levels, I mean, if you look at my base, the real defenses in my base come from my turrets. my defending units that deploy are really good, and they can make or break a defense, but really it's my turrets that are doing the brunt of the work. Whereas the later on, when you get to the later levels, when you're at level 70, I imagine it's going to start being where the turrets are really playing second fiddle to your defending units. With units like the HIMAR coming out, the HIMAR's range is like 440. The only turrets that are going to be able to actually hit the HIMAR are going to be your howitzer, your peacemaker, and your salvo turret. Those are going to be the only turrets that can even hit the HIMAR. So, like, that's a big deal. Players that rely solely on turrets for their base defense are going to get picked apart largely in the same way that they were picked apart by Zeus's. That's basically what this HIMAR is going to be, is a high-tier Zeus. You're just going to have a couple HIMARs shoved in a platoon with a tank or two, and the HIMAR is going to pick off, like looking at my base, it would pick off the machine gun turrets, and then it would distract the Peacemaker with a tank and destroy the Peacemaker with the HIMARs. And then it would just, have its way with my base. The only thing it has going for it is that it does have a 200 capacity, and it is a limit of 3 per squad. So when you get to higher levels, you are going to have to pay a lot of attention, as you can only have 5 squads. You can only have 3 tanks per squad, and you'll only be able to have 3 HIMARs per squad. So that means you would be able to have a maximum of, 12 HIMARs